It's day number 8 and I'm opening up this video with the same way as I was opening up the other one the other day, but with a new rag to wipe the window off today. Oh boy, this one doesn't soak up the water very well. Maybe a paper towel would work better. I'm getting water everywhere. Yep, paper towel works better. Okay, another day, that is much better, and it is pretty out there. It's going to be definitely a beautiful day to get a 5K, and this is day 8, so I don't know what I'm going to do for content. There's always something happening out here. Maybe I'll talk about the YouTube creators and the folks out there who have inspired me to keep going doing this. I think it's fun, but when you live alone, you kind of live sometimes vicariously through your iPhone. Mangy, I think you need to be brushed. I've got to get a good undercoat brush somewhere. I think I'll get one at the pet store when I go. Oh, another avocado. Where'd you go? I'm not going anywhere. Is that your avocado? Is that your baby? You're gonna save it, are you? Oh my goodness. Just a little while ago the sun was out, and when the sun comes out here, it's blazing. It's like intense, and you get warm. You don't have to have a lot of clothes when you get hit by the sun up here. This desert kind of like thing, you know, so that's what it is. And I was gonna say also, you know, you got to be friends with dirt, and you got to be friends with bugs and critters and small things and things that break. And if you're gonna live like I live, and like some of the people kind of like I watch on some of these YouTube channels. So anyway, so I'm gonna leave that in, and I think that's kind of cool. People who live in small places, little homes, and know what it's like to try to make things work when you can't get to town. As you saw earlier on posted, when I showed you what it looks like trying to get across the road, that's the only way out. So yeah, you gotta learn how to do it by yourself. And with this bum shoulder is going to be even a little tougher thing. So I'm going to put down, I think I'm going to figure out how to do this, but there are a couple links, a couple of people that I want to give a shout out to just for today. One is Wonder Hussy Adventure. So she's quite the character. And if you want to see how YouTubers that are like me, and not like me, but I mean that how YouTubers kind of started out, look at their channels, because I started watching the YouTube channel a long time ago. I started putting content in a long time ago, but I never made anything out of it. It was just my way of vicariously living through whatever media I could put out there without being in the like zone and the critical zone and all of that sort of stuff. And so I kind of kept myself in a more of a private mode until like now. And now I watch Wonder Hussy and Millennial Farmer. I want to give you a shout out too. I've been watching your channel since the beginning of a long time ago, before COVID. And you know, I watched your dad's knee replacement, you buying all the machinery, and all your kids growing up, and it was fun. It's been fun watching the YouTubers that have been a family, my family, for all these years. So I want to give a shout out to all you YouTuber creators that add to the content and add to my way of living vicariously through all of you, and that is most importantly. So I hope I'm contributing to that. And with that, let's see what kind of rain that little bit of storm we had last night gave us. Okay, I'm going to do one more quick thing about my Burl collection. And we're going to also pick up the ones, I'm going to get my backpack and we'll pick up the ones that I left out there in the field yesterday. An artist would have a field day. These different artists, creative artists would have a field day playing with these individual pieces of hard oak and the way they have shaped themselves over the time. So they're weathered, they're aging, so just chipping off pieces of bark, using your tools to create different faces and just change the way it looks. You can see that you can make all kinds of different creations out of just the simple basic forms that you get right at your nature's disposal. Like this one here, this is one of my favorites. It kind of lends itself to being a snail, and you put that in the context of some other medium and use the burls and swirls and everything else to give it texture. You can kind of tell a story that is only out of an artist's imagination, I guess. So I wanted to finish my shout out. I didn't finish all of my shout outs from all the YouTube channels that have kept me entertained for all the time. I've been doing this as well. There's a kid, he's called the 10th generation dairy farmer. I'll put his little link down onto the bottom of my video this time on here. I watched him from a long time ago as well, way back from the beginning of COVID. And he reminds me of if I had a kid my kid was killed in a traffic accident when he was like 19. So he kind of reminds me of what he would have been like at his age. And it's fun watching a person like that. So that's why I like watching his channel. Who else? There's two other kids that I like watching because I kind of miss my grandkids. They're up in Sasquatch, Canada. Saskatchewan, Canada. I think I really messed that up. I will check on that. But I'll put their links down here as well. Their brother and sister live on a dairy farm, and they just have a good time with life and loving what they do. So that's interesting and it's fun. Really no politics involved, and I think the majority of what I like to watch has a lot of integrity in its content. And I think that's the most important thing about watching the things that I like to watch on YouTube. You can pick and choose what you want. I'm not looking to become famous. I'm just giving people some opportunity for something to do, watch. I know there are people out there that can't get out and do these things, especially people that are my age. So the funny thing about the demographics on this too are the people watching this are more like the 40s and 50s or something, 40s. And I think that's cool. And maybe you can share this with your older friends or family who aren't getting out and doing what they should be doing to try to stay more healthy. Just getting exercise, getting people off their duffs and getting them to walk is enough. And I don't see enough older people doing that. So the encouragement, if you're worried about falling or whatever, you can use these sticks to start off with. And then after a while, and if you get a good pair of earbuds like I have here, you can really make it a lot of fun. And if you do YouTube videos, you get really strong arm holding up the camera for this long. So I'm going to stop because my arm's tired. And we're going to go heading towards the pond. Since we're just doing a walk more or less today, I have my sticks ready. I just thought maybe I would talk about maybe some things that are going to be coming up. My friends that are right over there you go, are going to be getting their house built. They've been waiting years to get all the permits done because of the fire dangers and septic issues and electricity and water and all that kind of thing you have to do in order to build a house out here in the country. And it's going to be kind of fun to watch them progress through it. And this is where Binks the Bouvier lives. So I don't think we're going to have a big problem, except for hopefully those two won't be getting into it much more. Now, I don't know. That could be an iffy thing as time goes on. But let me switch this around. We're almost down to my little burl collection. And this is where Heidi's home is going to be shortly. Sometime this summer, it should get started. And that'll be fun to watch her put that, they call it, I think, a sip home together. And I'm working with audio. These are AirPods. They pick up a lot of wind noise. And as I move forward, I'm going to stop this and put it to, no, I need to leave the transparency on. But if you put the one you plug onto the phone and use the windsock on, it sometimes messes up with this phone's ability to zoom. I don't know what maybe it's, I don't know yet. I'm gonna experiment, I'll figure it out. But right now it's the AirPods, and I apologize for the wind noise. So let's pick up the burls. Let's just pick up our pace a little bit. Let's see, what did we get? We weren't keeping that one. Idea what this looks like, and I can't tell you how hard it was to put on, but it's on, and it doesn't hurt my shoulder, believe it or not. Hurt getting it on, but I have no idea what it looks like. So I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to look at it for myself, and if I don't like what I see, I'm going to edit it out. I have to fix the camera first. No, this is not easy. It's a little wobbly. Okay, here we go. Okay, I watched myself on that, and it was okay. I was cracking up because as I walk, it's kind of hitting me in the bum as I'm moving along. So I can't. It's going to be different going home. I'll use my sticks, and I wonder if I'll smooth that out. I hope. So a couple things you need when you're out here is tissues, because my nose runs when it gets cold, and you need decent boots. You need waterproof boots. That's really important. So just FYI, if you're ever out hiking and you're doing what I'm doing with these poles, those are a couple of essentials: tissues and good boots. and now we'll head back to the barn. Okay, well, I've come to this spot where things that had broke down come to live for a few minutes or forever. I don't know. Anyway, mine have come here to rest while I go pick up something else to help them go home with me, because that was enough. So I'll walk home and pick up something that will help me bring these home. So this is going to be our ride today. Let's go. Okay, we got it corrected. Possessed her to get on top of that truck? Ah, there's something under that hood. That's what it is. There's a critter under there. Well, maybe he just thinks it's snow. Well, I'm going to have to do a little one-handed gardening here. This cannot wait 6 weeks. It will not work. So I'm going to get the big ones out. Like that. And that. And that. And that. A long time getting that Bermuda grass out of here, and I had this cleared of it before and I hadn't been paying attention. I had a potato crop in here that failed due to the weather, and then this stuff took over, which is the Bermuda grass, and it just uses these little rhizomes to go on underneath the ground, and once it's in there, it's almost impossible to keep it out unless you stick to it. Just a small piece like this will grow into a whole bunch more, and I got to go through and pick every one of these little pieces out, or I just grow more. Anything out here that falls on the ground and has seeds will volunteer, and in the case here, these little tomatoes are going to be all over the place, and I will just pick ones that I want to put grow into a bigger plant and harvest that for the year. In this case here is a purple Cherokee, and this is a volunteer right here, and we'll leave that here. I don't think it'll survive, and the reason being is that the temperature right in this area come in September, October exceeds what this plant can tolerate, and these will be harvested, so it's no issue there. And over here I have a volunteer basil, and it will be coming in. There'll be basil all over the place here in a couple weeks. So that'll be an interesting thing to watch. My oregano, I never realized oregano is so prolific, and that's right there. That's all oregano seed, and it grows also like little rhizomes, and it'll travel underground and find its way out of the ground all over the place. Like right here, here is a this is oregano. It's all over. So it's interesting to be in an environment that is so conducive to anything at all growing. This is right here, it's just starting right here, and I can see the buds coming out. If you look close, this is a seedless Concord grape, and this is the second year that I've had that in the ground, so we'll see how it does. So I think that's going to be it for today. This pooped me out a couple times. I kind of wrenched my shoulder a little bit more than I should have, but all in all, I managed to do it with one arm, and it seemed to be okay. So thanks for watching today, and like I said earlier, I want to thank all those other YouTubers out there that are putting content out, because I'll watch all of you tonight. If you've posted something, I'm a subscriber and you've notified, I'll look at your content, and I'm sure I'll put a thumbs up for it. And thanks a lot for watching. That's all.